Hello, quilt artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel, Under the Needle Quilting and Crafts. I just got my sew sampler for the month of, what is this? September. This is a monthly subscription box. It is $29.95 plus tax and shipping. I will put all of the information down in the description box. I do really love and enjoy this subscription. Generally what we get each month, well, every month we get a block in our ongoing block of the month for the year. It's a 12-month period. We get I think we're on block 6. I think this will be block 6. There is a pattern, and then there's fabric to make said pattern. Now you will get the printed fabric to make the pattern, but you will have to source your own background and sometimes borders and of course backing and generally binding. So again, you just get the prints, but then they also have like some fun stuff in here, you know, like new different types of like notions and stuff like that. So let's see. So we have 15% off of Jolly Bars. So every month we also get a coupon. This month's coupon is 15% off of Jolly Bars. A Jolly Bar is a product that is unique to Fat Quarter Shop, and Fat Quarter Shop curates this box. That's the name of the company that curates this box. And that is a unique product to them. And basically, not basically, but a Jolly Bar is half a layer cake. So if you took a layer cake and cut it in half, you'd have 2 Jolly Bars. There we go. And there is a pattern back here that shows I don't know why that always wants to come on when I'm filming. Let me go turn it off. Sorry, that noise was my dehumidifier. This area that I'm in used to be a garage, and it's been converted, but it's just very damp. This is a very damp property, and so I run a dehumidifier 24/7 with down here. So I have to remember to turn it off when I'm filming, and if I forget, it kicks on. And we've just gotten a lot of rain lately. Anywho, so there is a pattern back here that uses the Jolly Bar. It's called the Jolly Bar Bakewell pattern, and it's one of Fat Quarter Shop's shortcut quilt patterns. Okay, let's get our handy dandy guide out. What do we have this month? Oh, I don't have this one. I don't mind getting these. Okay, so we have a Creative Grids 5.5 inch ruler, a 5.5 inch square ruler. Now, I own the 6.5 inch one. That's one of my favorite rulers. I love that ruler so much that when I broke it, I bought another one. And I have the 4.5 inch one because it came in a prior sew sampler box. I have the 6.5, so I couldn't justify buying the 4.5. I definitely can't justify buying the 5.5, but I certainly don't mind getting it for free in this box. And this is valued at $18.49. So that is a sizable portion of the cost of this box. Half the cost of this box is this ruler. Happy to have it. Love it. It will go in the collection. So now I have the 6.5, the 5.5, the 4.5, and a 2.5. One thing about Fat Quarter Shop, if they're going to give you a ruler, it's usually going to be Lori Holt, or it's going to be a Fat Quarter Shop ruler that they designed, or it's going to be Creative Grids. You're never going to get some cheap knockoff ruler, ever. And I respect that. So in here, this is called a Hot Ruler Mini. I've seen this before. I know it's not something that I need in my quilting life, but it says, okay, the 2x6 Clover Mini Hot Ruler is a Fat Quarter Shop exclusive and your iron's new BFF. Use it to measure, mark, fold, and press all at once. Made of heat-resistant nylon, you can fold fabric over it and press directly on the ruler, making hems and French seams in a cinch in home decor projects like pillows and curtains. Our favorite use for this little hot ruler is for pressing seams on quilt labels to top stitch into our favorite quilts. Sure. I might use it for my binding. That's the only thing I would use this for. Because sometimes, like when I'm making binding, and I'm having to fold it in half, it would be nice to have, something kind of sturdy to be able to kind of shove into that seam to kind of help. So I'll try it for that. I'd forgotten what this was, but I have seen this before. I've read the description of it, and I deliberately made a choice not to buy one because it wasn't something that I needed, so I couldn't justify the purchase. But certainly don't mind trying it and using it when it comes in a sub box, which is why I like getting these boxes, because I can kind of get something that I would never buy myself, and I like that. Here we have, this is the block 6 in the Peaceful Baskets quilt along. That's what block 6 looks like. I'm not doing the quilt along. I'm not doing it. I still need to make the blocks from last year's. And we have our thread. There's always a little spool of Aurifil every month. Oh, this was $9.98 was the value on that. The value on the block of the month was $4.98. Here's our little spool of Aurifil thread. This is valued at $5.98. And we have our fabric and a couple of patterns. So when you buy a Jolly Bar from Fat Quarter Shop, you do get a Jolly Bar exclusive pattern. And I believe they do that because this pre-cut is unique to them. Right? Nobody else sells a Jolly Bar. It's named after them. The lady that runs Fat Quarter Shop, her and her husband, their last name is Jolly. This is called a Jolly Bar after them. So I think it's kind of nice, since it is a unique pre-cut that no one else owns, that if you buy the fabric, you automatically get a pattern. And I think it's very cool of them that even though we are not buying this Jolly Bar, they're still giving us the pattern that would have come with it had we purchased it. And I think that's nice of them, because they didn't have to. They could be like, we just going to keep this pattern and we just going to give you the fabric. But they didn't do that. So if you were to buy the Jolly Bar that we are getting in the box today, it is going to come with this pattern. And you can't get this pattern any other way. I don't know. It might be for purchase. Maybe you can purchase it on their website, but I know you cannot get this pattern as a free download anywhere. The only way you can get the pattern for free is if you buy this Jolly Bar. And it's called Summer Getaway. And then the pattern that is coming with our box is this one here, which I actually like this month. This is called Reflection. Kind of these mirrored blocks. So this finishes at 51.5 by 66.5. You would have to provide 1 5/8 of background 1, 1 5/8 of background number 2, 7/8 for a border, and 5/8 for a binding. And our fabric this month is Miss Joanna Figueroa Denim and Daisies. So let's look at this. This is very, very much fig tree. So we have 2 of that print, 1 of that. We have 2 of these. 1 of these. Oh, I like this one. That's a winner. Another polka dot type. medium scale floral. 2 of those. Love this. Look like little paisleys. Anything that looks like a little paisley, I'm a fan of. We have that in a white colorway. I also like this one. Of course, it doesn't want to come in. Whatever. So we have that. And we have this one. Lot of SKUs in here. Lot of SKUs, and there's a lot of prints in here. A lot more than I expected. I'm still not done. This is pretty. I love the kind of apricot. I love these apricot prints. This is a pretty jolly bar. I'd probably, I don't know if I would do a jolly bar pattern or, I mean, of course, if you cut your jolly bar in half, you end up with 2 charm packs, right? So that's an option. Oh. And the last one is that one right there. How many SKUs do we have in here? So I ended up with two copies of the pattern because when I unrolled my jolly bar, there was another copy of the pattern in there. This is pretty, really pretty. Nice box, solid, no complaints for me. And this jolly bar is valued at $22.98. And this pattern is valued at $9.98. So let's say 23, 33, 41. So just these two items is the entire cost of the box plus shipping, at least for me. It's the entire cost of the box plus tax and shipping in these 2 items. I mean, I guess you take the tax out anyway, because if you were to buy this in the store, you pay tax. So this whole box is $30. It's $29.95 or $29.98. One of those. I always forget. But yeah, this is $23 by itself, and this is $18.50 by itself. I love this box. I always get my money's worth. Always get my money's worth. Another solid box from Fat Quarter Shop, and I even like the pattern this month. Nice big blocks. These blocks are huge. 15.5 by 15.5, unfinished. Nice big blocks. Easy to construct, bunch of half square triangles and some plain squares. So this is definitely a beginner quilt. Beginner could definitely make this. I've got too many other quilts on my must make list that come way before this quilt. So I don't know if I'll ever get to make it in my lifetime, but I do like the pattern. So again, recapping the box, we have our 5.5 inch Creative Grids, 5.5 inch square ruler. We've got our pattern for the month, this Reflections quilt pattern, 51.5 by 66.5. We've got our next installment in our Peaceful Baskets quilt along. Block 6. We have our mini hot ruler. We have our spool of Aurifil. We have our Jolly Bar. And we have the pattern that comes with the Jolly Bar. So again, this pattern is exclusive to that Jolly Bar. I'd actually probably be more likely to make this. No, I'm lying. Got too many beautiful quilts that would come before both of those. And some of those are fat quarter shop patterns. Like there's a fat quarter shop pattern I want to make so bad, and the next one I make, it's I'll show it to you. I keep it close by. Sunset at Sea. Love this pattern. Other patterns that come before that. This one here, Interference. Love to make both of those quilts. Some of my favorites are in here. Fanciful Floor, Homecoming, Appleseed. So many nice patterns. So it's not like these are bad patterns that we get from Fat Quarter Shop. I just have a short list already. Kapow, City Girl Chevron, Voyage. This is actually one of my whips. This is Mail Day. I need to finish that quilt. Basket Case, that's a fave. Hestia, this is a paper pieced. That's why it's the last pattern in the book, because it's paper pieced. So I know sometimes like y'all be looking at me strange when I'm like, oh, it's a nice pattern, but I'm probably never gonna make it. It's because I literally have a short list of patterns that all come before this. But again, another solid box. I actually really do like the shortcut pattern that they gave us a link to. The Jolly Bar Bakewell quilt pattern. Of anyone, I'd be more likely to make that one. I'd be more likely to make that than both of those other patterns. I actually like this one more. I don't know. I like the geometrics. I'm a fan of those. Anywho, I've talked long enough. That is it for me. And I'll see you guys next video.